Hello everyone and welcome to round number 2 in PSGL here today for the Bahrain Grand Prix. First of all, round 1, Spanish Grand Prix, check it out, link in the top right before we jump into spoilers. I will also talking about that race in this episode, so go watch it. But yeah, here we are, round 2, Bahrain, under the night skies, and yeah, we're going to see how this one goes. Hopefully better than the opener, as we need to get a couple of points, but I want to see if I can try and do a bit better this one and have, some better pace. So let's talk about it really quickly as you watch my first qualifying lap in the background. So I put in a decent amount of practice for this one, to be fair. Pace was okay. Bahrain's never been one of my better tracks, even though I actually don't mind it. I quite enjoy racing here. I just never have quite been able to be on the pace here for whatever reason. And last time I raced here, we all know what happened. I had a pretty big incident at turn 1, and yeah, it's just about trying to have a decent session, to be fair.
Dropping some frames.
Now you can hear me say in the background, dropping some frames, and there's more to that after, which I'll explain now. So after this lap, for some reason I was having some issues and my PC kind of bugged out, and at the time my stream crashed, which is why you're only going to see 2 runs from me this session, because I only had time for 2 runs, because once I kind of troubleshooted everything and got the stream back up and running, rejoined the session, my game crashed, I only had time for 1 more run. So this is essentially run 1 out of 2 in this session. That wasn't the lap. And as you can hear, I'm not really happy with it. A 128.1, it's nowhere near my best.
Upstart this lap, so
So here we are, attempt number 2 and final attempt. 4 minutes to go. I went out a bit earlier to try not to catch the traffic. So turn 1, braking at the 100-meter board, down to 3rd, up to 4th, and then 5th through turn 2. Excellent drive through there. I ain't got a delta, which is not ideal. As you can hear, I don't have a delta, so I don't know what I'm doing compared to my previous lap. Turn 4, braking at the 100, or as the curve appears on the left. Very good run through there, and I actually set a personal best sector 1. I've not done a mid 2 ever in my life, so a very good first sector. Down into the turn 8 hairpin, 4th gear. I went in a bit too early, I also broke a bit too early. I'd seen the first sector split, which was so good that I actually decided to take it a bit safer, and that was probably a mistake because I drove a bit too safe throughout this middle sector, but especially turn 8. I just broke too early and turned in too early. I had a slight correction. Nonetheless, 50-meter board here, trying to find the braking point as we make our way up the hill, ending sector 2, flat out through this long right, which feeds into a quick second right-hander here, snappy on the brakes, back on the power ASAP, and then getting the run down to the final corner. For this one, bring the car over to the left and brake at the white DRS line, maybe just after. Make sure you use all the exit curb here, run up to the line, hope for the best.
Not too bad, Tom.
I'm quite happy with that.
It's a 0.6.
Yeah. The final corner let me down, but I'm gassed. My first second was good. Now at the time of recording, I don't actually remember what my personal best was in practice. However, the grid was extremely close and extremely competitive. I want to say my personal best was like a mid 5. From what I remember, I think P8 would have been my personal best, but still, considering the circumstances that I only had 2 runs, and we had an interruption halfway through, no delta, and just not a lot of confidence because of that distraction, I will take that. P13, not too bad, but again, a really competitive grid, so it's looking like it's going to also be a close race. So that's going to be interesting, and the race start could prove to be key. So either way, qualifying done, and just for note in this one, I'm in a Discord call with Lefted, who is starting from the back of the grid, his engineer, and also my engineer, Will Lewis, and also my teammate, Lewis Walsh. So 5 people in the call, so you might hear them in various times across the race on comms. But yeah, with that aside, let's get into the race, and hopefully we can try and bag some points. So here we go, wasting no time, getting into the main event. Hard tyres on for the race start. 5 lights in Bahrain, and we're underway. Initial start phase is good. We get the jump on Harlem Marquez, and we pull alongside as we race down to turn 1. Car on the inside here as we choose the outside line. Take it very easy, as not the best tyres to start the race on. Not a lot of grip, carnage everywhere, and we have to try and stay alive here. Modesto Mena on the right looking for a move, and we're going to again commit to the outside line. We managed to actually get a pretty nice look here and move around the outside, but we don't quite manage to make it work. So yeah, P12 for us right now. We have overall gained a place, but probably could have been in the top 10 had we had a bit more luck with the outside line. Further behind, Jonas Dovzan looking for the move up the inside into the hairpin. Luckily, I kind of expected it, so I left a bit of a gap and prepared myself for the exit, and we do manage to hold on to P12 and stay in front of the Alpine. So yeah, overall, like I said, the start was actually fine, but it's a lottery. Sometimes you pick the right line, sometimes you pick the wrong line, and in our case, even though there was a crash, I think I picked the wrong line. That's just the way it goes. Didn't really have anywhere else to go. No regrets. Just got to crack on and move on. So let's skip on to later on in this race after lap 1.
Bogdan could well yeet and drain his entire battery to get past me. Wouldn't surprise me.
Now all the way on to lap 5, you hear me say there, Bogdan could use his battery, and that could be a way to get past.
And here it comes. I'm going to play a long game here.
Yep. Just nothing stupid.
And here he goes then, using a massive chunk of battery. I'm not going to fall for it, I'm just going to do my own race. We actually managed to brake quite late and go around the outside and still hang on to P12 without using any battery in the process. So that was quite successful from us and good defensive driving. And like I said, as long as I don't lose DRS on the cars ahead, we're okay. The gap right now is on the limit, so we're going to have to push. We do already gain that time.
I'm really struggling to follow.
Yeah, I am as well.
Now you can hear Conor Muir, SRT lefted, who is now behind us in P14. He complains about following the dirty air, which is a big struggle here. You can really notice it when you're following a car. It's so hard to stay close and follow.
Fuel's perfect. Could have gone 0.5 even. I went 0.8.
Now at this point, I was chatting away and I was kind of debating looking for the overcut and going long, using the clean air. We've got a decent bit of ERS battery charge, so I'm planning to use that to go long and try to get some sort of overcut and see if we can, benefit, because the cold tyres are not fun around this circuit.
Is there a break ahead?
Yes, Philip. He might have just got it though. I think he's going to lose at this lap, Tom, too.
I'm talking about like P4. Is there a break around P4?
No, that's all still connected.
Okay.
There we go. So here we go then, lap 13. We've got a couple breaks in the DRS train, and that's going to move us into the points. At this point, it was a really frustrating race. I was much quicker than Philip, but he had super high straight line speed.
So the only split in the train is Philip in front of you.
I've got to use battery now. Gotta go.
Now, just on that lap, I was going to go for the move because you saw his light was flashing, but he pits. So now we're going to push and use up the battery and see if we can go for an overcut and see what kind of pace we have on these hard tyres. I'm running pretty high pressure, so tyre wear is relatively low. So let's see what we can do here.
I'm not trying to go back within DRS. I don't think I will.
End of lap 15 now, on for a personal best, and pace looking pretty solid. I did try to get within DRS, but it didn't really work out. The DRS effect is just too strong here with the 3 DRS zones. So yeah, we set a personal best by half a second, 31.0. Very good pace, but you can see in the delta on the top left, we've lost 3.5, nearly 4 tenths to Modesto Mena just on the pit straight alone, which is really painful.
I think it could be the laptop box.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yep, not a realist bit.
Pitting this lap then, coming to the pits at the end of this lap.
So we're going to try and squeeze out one more lap, and that's exactly what we've done. Once I realised I didn't have the battery left, and the cars ahead, I wasn't going to catch them, we're going to box. A bit earlier than we liked. I was going to stretch this to like lap 20 and go long, but it is what it is. Sometimes you just have to react to what's happening around you. So onto the mediums, that's going to be the plan here. We actually hold up the Mercedes there of Oscar Villacampa, who pit before us. And yeah, we're going to box now for a fresh set of mediums as Oscar goes down the pit lane. So 2.2 back underway. Let's see if the overcut works.
I'm on the limit, big time. I think I'll be ahead, but then I'm going to fall behind because of the cold tyres.
Look after these tyres now in order to finish the race on this
But
compound.
we were around Philip before we pit.
And as I said, the cold tyres are just not fun to drive. We are ahead, as I expected, but we've got no grip.
No grip. Did Villacampa just cut the chicane, by the way?
No, I think he's spun on the out lap.
That'll explain it.
Now, the reason I said that is you can see Oscar Villacampa was on the exit of turn 3 going slowly, and he's just ahead of us. And he was way up the road, so he's made a mistake and lost a bit of time. Either way, we're back behind Philip. The overcut hasn't worked, and yeah, we're stuck behind him yet again. Just like in Spain in round 1, it's costing our race for the second time in a row.
Good stuff staying within DRS.
Yeah, I could drain, but it is what it is. I've got a slight advantage, so I could get past him.
We have a 2-lap pressure tire.
My issue is that we're not in DRS of any cars ahead.
There's still a lot to pit from your train, so you might be alright.
So there's a bit of an update in terms of what's happening around us. We set a personal best on this up, and I was considering going for the move as Cameron pits in the Alpha Tauri. Philip defends the inside, and like I said before, his straight line speed was very strong, and he was holding up okay in the corners, to be fair, so it made it really hard to pass him. You had to drain your entire battery to get a chance. And now lap 20, it seems like I've got the advantage. I've got a bit better tyres, and also it just feels like Philip is struggling a bit more, and I'm also a bit stronger on these compared to the hard type. We've got a car leaving the pits, Harlan Marcus, as we go 3 wide into turn 1. We go through the middle and make the overtakes into P11. We've got Jake Finch ahead, who could just reform the DRS train ahead of us.
Might just be able to nab DRS from Finch on cold tyres.
And I can't explain how crucial that is, because not having DRS here can really make or break a race, and we might just get a chance here to get back within touching distance of the top 10.
Yeah, they're all battling behind you.
Finch naturally fighting back through is going to cost people time ahead, so
Yeah, you're going to be fine. Just
that was good timing. I had to get them done there.
you got Holland on softs behind you as well, so it probably won't be worth battling him, so you can use him to get back to the train.
I'll make sure he uses a bit of battery before.
I got 3 more laps before 75%.
Yeah, I mean, there's going to be a crash in the next 3 laps if anything. Jake Finch is absolutely flying up.
But there's also a Louis Welch on track.
That's true. Deploy
Come on,
tactical
Harlan.
Louis Welch.
Harlan's that battery as well, so. Flores is ahead, right? So I'll gain a place. Or is he out of reach?
He's out.
He's out reach.
Oh,
Yeah, there's a
train
full,
ahead.
there's a full, yeah, he does a 4-second split.
Is it? Have you seen him flashing?
Oh, everyone's flashing. Problem is, so am I.
Well, Oscar is on the same lap old tyres as you.
Yeah.
So I think it might be worth saving up the battery. Maybe 1-2 more laps and then go for it.
Let's do it.
So a lot to process and a lot of comms. Essentially, the pace was good. I felt comfortable on the mediums, and the problem is now the DRS train is not moving.
I have to use my battery there.
Ahead of us, no one's really making moves, everyone's just following, and it's making it hard to get any racing action. In the meantime, Cameron behind us is on 3-lap fresher mediums, and he just has more grip. I'm pushing on, I've got fresher tyres and a lot of these people ahead of us. We're on the same age tyres as Oscar Camper. And yeah, I'm trying to make things happen, but I just don't quite have the pace at this stage or the battery. The pace kind of fell off with tyre wear, it seems, and now Cameron is going to try it and go for the move. I brake pretty damn late here, and I actually outbrake myself. He still commits, but we managed to hold him back for now. He might get a second chance though, and he's right on our gearbox as he opens DRS. So do we, but you can see we just don't have the battery. I leave the inside open, side by side, keeping it fair, leaving the space, but you can see instead the grip isn't there on the tyres, and Cameron goes by and moves into P11. So we dropped down to P12, and yeah, still at the point, so no big loss for us, and definitely not ideal, but the pace just wasn't there.
Haven't got the tyres, he's got better tyres than me. I just can't traction.
And overall, I've got to say, it was just a bit of a frustrating race, I feel like. There was potential in qualifying had the interruptions not happened, but as for the race, just like in Spain really, we got stuck behind Philip, and he wasn't fast enough to hang on to the cars ahead, but he had too much straight line speed for me to pass, and that has also cost our race here today for the second one in a row, so not ideal. And yeah, we go on to the next one as we try to fight back in the closing stages here of this race.
That was a fucking wet final lap, Jesus. Nothing happened.
I was also hoping for a bit of an instant, but nothing really happened.
Still at the last corner. Watch out, Tom. Someone's could spin.
And I appreciate Lewis, they're trying to give me a bit of false hope, but unfortunately nobody spun. Everyone behaved well, and that is the race. I lack pace again. I had the same issue in the last race. So yeah, overall race done, and yeah, I was hoping for a bit of chaos, a bit of battling, you know, a few things happening on the last lap. Wasn't really the case. Flores had a 3-second penalty up the road. He was too far ahead for me to capitalise. Cameron finished with the fastest lap, and overall, looking at this, not much we could have done really. You know, we finished higher than where we started. I did what I could. I felt like we made the moves at the right time, especially when I passed Philip and Harlem. You know, we latched onto Jake Finch, but yeah, it just didn't work out. And I think not having DRS was frustrating. If you can look at where I pit, you know, on lap 16 or lap 15 technically, Modesto Mena was the car ahead of me, 1 second up the road, and he finished in P7. So it could have been P7 for us or P8, you know, in that kind of region, but that 1 second gap and not having the DRS made such a difference, and we lost out so much in the end. So, yeah, that is it for the race. Here are the standings, and after 2 rounds, pointless for us in Bahrain. So just the points from Spain to carry over into the next race. Lewis currently on a wheel, learning his way through, struggling for pace, which is, you know, understandable. I believe he's not racing anymore as he wants to drop down and practice more. So I should be getting a new teammate for the next round. But yeah, guys, that's it for today's episode. I'm sorry it wasn't a classic. Generally, DRS trains can be very boring, and that's kind of what happened in this race. So yeah, leave a like and subscribe for more, and I'll have more new racing content on the way. I stream my races every Thursday and Sunday night on my Twitch, link down below, so go check that out. And yeah, as always, check out the 2 videos on screen if you haven't seen them, guys, and I'll see you on my next video. Until then, take care, and it's goodbye from me.